We have here verse 2 of the 4th chapter of the Gospel of John. We have learned in verse 1 of this chapter that the Pharisees had heard that Jesus was baptizing. He was actually baptizing and making more disciples than John the Baptist had, and the impression you get, the implication of the statement, is that the Pharisees would not be happy to hear that the religious leadership had already had enough problems dealing with John the Baptist, and now to hear that Jesus is actually exceeding John the Baptist in the impact he's having on the popular culture would not be any good news from their point of view. And so that information has come to Jesus. The sentence was left unfinished, and now in fact verse 2 really represents a parenthesis that still leaves the sentence unfinished. We'll have to wait for verse 3 to see how the matter resolves, but we'll just look at this briefly. Kai toiga. This is a kind of a conjunction, not all that unusual in the New Testament. It means although. It is kind of a parenthetical insertion here, in which we hear that although Jesus, autos, the third person singular masculine nominative pronoun, is sometimes used in the New Testament, in fact very frequently used actually as an intensifier. So in this case we would render it that Jesus himself, kind of adding emphasis to it, Jesus himself, uk ebaptizen, from baptizo, I baptize, third person singular aorist, active indicative. Jesus himself did not baptize. Allah, contracted here before a vowel, but hoi mathetai, the disciples out to of him. So just to clarify, John the Apostle wants to communicate to us that Jesus was not out in the water baptizing people. In fact, the clear point is that Jesus didn't baptize with water, Jesus baptized with the Spirit. But that there was a kind of parallel ministry being carried on in which the disciples of Jesus were baptizing is clear from the text. We get the impression, and probably we'll see that more clearly as we go along, that as the Pharisees and the religious leadership are beginning to be concerned about Jesus' practice, he is actually going to withdraw into the region of Galilee. This particular setting is still in Judea, but that won't last for long, and we'll see Jesus departing, and of course that gives rise to the encounter with the woman of Samaria that is going to be before us soon enough.